this is most certainly a high priest's house in the right area of the old city where the high priest would live. They say either Annas, which is Caiaphas' father-in-law, or Caiaphas, this was most likely their house. This is something that's been developing over the last few years. This is a phenomenal house that's underground in the old city today. Let me just walk you through a couple things, and I'll show you something very cool. This is one of the rooms where they found the purification jugs, just like the jugs they used in Cana in John chapter 2, where Jesus turned the water into wine. These are the purification jars, they call them. There are so many mikvah baths in this home that it's unusual, and that's one of the reasons they say it had to be the high priest's home, because of all the purification rituals that they had to go through. This room in this house underground right now, you see the fresco, that's a plaster fresco. This room is called the reception room. It's a large open room that we would call like a guest room, where the council would gather, the high council they call it, the council of the Sadducees would gather there. And so when Jesus was taken to Caiaphas' house at night, since it was illegal, the council came there to put Jesus on his first mock trial. Now I'm going to show you a picture of this house to just describe one verse to you and show you that when the Bible says something, it makes sense. Whether you understand it makes sense or not means you may or may not need to learn more, but watch how much sense this makes. You see where this is red, you see the red right there? What color am I drawing in? Oh, I'm drawing in red too. That's the reception room of this house. This is a model of a house that exists, that's fully, there in foundation level right now. That's where Jesus would have been taken. The blue, I won't draw on it so you don't mistake it. You see the blue? That's an outer courtyard where where Peter would have warmed himself by the fire. The yellow, do you see it down here in the kind of center bottom? The yellow is the entrance to the house. So Jesus would have been brought into the high priest's house, led through the courtyard into that reception room for the illegal council, right? Where he stood before the council, where they, condemned him to die and to take him to Pilate. And then when he left, he would have left through the courtyard and back out the same way he came in, like that. So Peter is there by the fire in Luke 22 after he had denied Christ twice. Verse 59 says, about an hour later, someone else insisted this must be one of them because he is a Galilean too. But Peter said, man, I don't know what you are talking about. And immediately, while he was still speaking, the rooster crowed. Verse 61, at that moment, the Lord turned and looked at Peter. And people say, how could this happen? Because he was being taken out of the high council trial through the open courtyard where Peter had been led in by someone he knew. The Lord turned and looked at Peter. Suddenly the Lord's words flashed through Peter's mind. Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you'll deny me 3 times that you even know me. And Peter left the courtyard weeping bitterly. You see it? That's pretty incredible.